guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about something I've been mentioning off and on throughout the last number of videos. But before we get into that part of the video, I want to get into something that happened on X the other day. I posted this picture right here when talking about food additives and food that has been manipulated. And this is a bottle of Hellmann's, and it's got there right there, made with a bioengineered ingredient. And people erupted, and it got a lot of feedback. People were really disappointed because people really love their mayo. They really love their Hellmann's. And I know people love their Dukes and all that, all the different brands that are out. They're fan favorites for a lot of these people. And some people were really disappointed to turn over that bottle. Actually, some people didn't even know. They went over to their counter or their kitchen and grabbed their own bottle and, turned it over and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm eating Bill Gates food. Because that's what you're doing. And then you had a lot of responses of people who were like, oh, Zach, bioengineered food, that's been happening for thousands of years. That's something that people did for millennia. And that's not true. That's not true. Taking a couple of different plants and then cross-pollinating them, like for instance, one tomato variety versus another tomato variety to make a completely brand new tomato variety, that's different than genetically modifying the DNA of whatever you're modifying and then in a lab somewhere doing something that can only be done in a lab to produce something completely different than what you started from. That doesn't happen in nature. That farmers didn't do that thousands of years ago. Hey, listen, by all means, don't let me stop you. Go ahead and eat your frankenfood. Go ahead and eat your GMOs. I don't care. It's no skin off my back. I'm not going to do it. But, that's on you. But many of us out there don't want to eat frankenfood. We don't want to eat food that's been created in a lab. We don't want to eat highly processed foods. We want to eat foods that have wholesome ingredients to them. Whole food ingredients that, Grandma used to be able to pronounce when she read them on a label, or maybe she grew them in her garden by herself. Those are the kind of foods I want to eat for the most part. Listen, I understand there are times when you're out and about and you need to grab something quick, and so you might lax on that a little bit. But just today, people were talking about, how to lose weight, do this to lose weight and do that to lose weight. There was this image I posted already, it was posted over on Twitter. But I said, hey, listen, if 50% or more of your food comes from the drive-through window, none of that matters. It's not going to matter because you're getting 50% of your food from the drive-through window. Okay, now let's get back to the Hellmann's. Now, I went to the store yesterday and I picked up a bottle of Hellmann's. And sure enough, on the back of the bottle, it says right there, bioengineered ingredient. Right there, it says derived from a bioengineered source. Right there. And then, I picked up the olive oil, supposed olive oil version of that. And it says also contains a bioengineered food ingredient right there. Bioengineered food ingredient. But it says olive oil. They portray this as the more healthier brand. It says olive oil, canola oil, soybean oil. So yes, it has olive oil in it, but they're still using seed oils. And if you don't know, soybeans are about 90%, 99%, depending on who you ask and what internet research you do, they're all GMOs in this country. If it's got soybean in it, it's GMO. It's a genetically modified organism, okay? Most of the time, 90% or more of the time. So some people went home and they were like, well, I looked on and this was interesting because a lot of the comments on Twitter, they looked at their Hellmann's brand, the regular just Hellmann's brand, and like the yellow bottle that I have here, and they looked on theirs, and there was nothing. Here's a picture, no mention of a bioengineered ingredient. So I'm perplexed at this. I don't understand what's going on here. Maybe you can help me in the comments below. Why are some stores? Now this person here said that they bought theirs from Publix, which I believe when I lived in Florida. I went to college in Florida, and that's where Publix was. They had Publix and Albertsons and grocery stores like that. So maybe some of you in Florida, if you can do some research, those of you in Florida who are listening or who shop at a Publix in another state, do they have bioengineered ingredients at Publix for their Hellmann's mayonnaise? Why would Hellmann's have some marked bioengineered and then others not? Is it just in Arkansas because people in Arkansas don't care what they eat? People in the Ozarks? What about other people, other states? Here's the deal. Sound off, put a comment below, and let me know what state you get your Hellmann's from, and if they have bioengineered ingredients in your Hellmann's in your state. Leave a comment below. Run to the cupboard. Come on, pause the video, run to the cupboard and check. Let me know in the comments below. I want to know what is it. If you know what's going on here, let me know too. Also that. So it was interesting to see, the different sources of why that was. Now, let me just move over here into another topic. Now that we're trying to figure out that mystery. But again, if you want to eat this stuff, you go ahead and eat this stuff. But if you're going to eat, I'll be like, well, mine doesn't have bioengineered, Zach. Okay, it's still got soybeans in it. It's still got soybeans. You're still eating GMO. I don't care what you say. Most, if not all, soybeans produced in this country are GMO. The video is sponsored by the Perfect Pickler. So speaking of that, perfectpickler.com. I just finished this batch of sauerkraut the other day, and a lot of you guys, you commented and said, Zach, I don't like sauerkraut. I just can't get into sauerkraut. You know what? You can go to my website, perfectpickler.com, and you can go and you can see all the different recipes. Lots of them. If you don't like sauerkraut, there's other things. People like kimchi. People don't like kimchi. I saw those comments too. There's different types of kimchi. There's other different types of fermented vegetables. I have a batch of pickles from my garden. When it comes to pickles, you got to do them fresh. If you don't do them fresh, they're not going to turn out right. I mean, like fresh off the vine. You can't go to the store, buy cucumbers, and make pickles, with the Perfect Pickler. It's not going to work. It's going to end in disaster. There's just something about cucumbers. They have to be fresh from the vine if you're going to pickle them, and pickle them with, the old-fashioned, traditional probiotics type pickling. It's not going to work any other way. But other things like cabbage and carrots and peppers and all that stuff can be pickled, and fermented very easily with great success. Salsa is a big one I love. I love my fermented salsa. This just smells so good. It's like this earthy flavor. Here's the deal. For those of you out there who don't like sauerkraut, I can't stand the taste, Zach. It just doesn't appeal to me. Here's the trick to get it to where you get not completely, but a pretty different flavor out of it. You got to put onion and garlic in here. Onion and garlic. And so I put on the website, I said, if you want to take something up to, another notch, as Emerald used to say, whatever, you put in onion and garlic. So I put in onion and garlic in almost every ferment that I do because it just expands that flavor so much more. And it's just that onion and garlic, and they come with their own probiotics. So I mentioned that study that's linked on the website, perfectpickler.com, where you can see it was done by the National Library of Medicine, the Fauci-ouchie website. And they found in their studies 114 strains from one head of cabbage. 114 strains. Now, if you go and you get that pill bottle from the store, it's going to say between 10 and 15 strains. So imagine how many more strains you're getting when you have the cabbage in there, plus the onion, plus the garlic, plus carrots. There's some shredded carrots, cut up carrots we put in there. Imagine the probiotics you're getting with all that mixed in. It's way more than you're ever going to get at the store. So I eat about, if you want to get your daily probiotics, the crunch. Can you hear that? The crunch. It's so good. I just can't. Here's a good tip too. When you put this in the fridge, once it's done, it takes only about 3 or 4 days to get done. Once it's done, don't tighten the lid very tight because it takes forever. Because it happens is there's like a suction that takes place. And it's really hard to get off. These are really good seals that we ship with our kits. So you're going to get way more strains. You're going to get way more beneficial bacteria by growing it your own. So I mentioned the other day that they're ripping you off, just like they're ripping you off with the Hellmann's, just like they're ripping you off with so many of these other things they're selling in the store that are not food. Watch this clip.
I had killed my bifidobacteria, and I was drinking a liter of kefir every day. And I couldn't find bifidobacteria in my gut from that liter of kefir. So I tested the kefir in my fridge and basically noticed there was no bifidobacteria, even though it said on the label, bifidobacteria. So I was curious because here I am telling all my patients to drink kefir, of course it's not going to improve, their microbiome if mine didn't even improve. So I went to my grocery store in Malibu and picked up a whole bunch of yogurts and a whole bunch of drinks that said bifidobacteria in them. And then out of the 26 drinks, only 3 of them had bifidobacteria. And it was shocking because here I am telling patients, well, go get kefir and improve, go pick up a drink that has bifidobacteria. It was shocking to find out that actually so many drinks didn't have bifidobacteria. It was also shocking to find out that out of the drinks that didn't have bifidobacteria, not only did the drinks not have bifidobacteria, but even the probiotics that say bifidobacteria didn't have bifidobacteria in there. 16 out of 17 probiotics on the market have 0 bifidobacteria. It's just a gimmick. They don't put bifidobacteria in there. So consumer beware, because that's the problem. You are thinking you're taking on some probiotics or some drinks that is improving your gut, and it's not necessarily improving your gut.
Ladies and gentlemen, most of the food you're buying is fake. If they're telling you it's healthy, it's not. It's fake. Have you ever? I've seen this more and more, and let me know also in the comments if you've seen this. So I've been driving along one day, and I see on this corner of a parking lot on a busy street, and they're selling steaks, ribeye steaks, like a dozen of them for like $30. Have you seen these signs and these things? And people have told me, I've never bought one, but people have told me, Zach, those aren't real ribeyes. They're not ribeyes. They're fake. The stuff has been done to them that makes them sort of look like ribeyes, but they're not ribeyes. It's all fake. And that's the thing with most of these food items that you buy today. You never know what you're getting. You never know the quality of the animal that was processed. You never know what it was fed. You never know how it lived. And that's why it's so important to go out there and try to make deals and get to know and network with farmers who will sell you beef, either on the hoof or they'll process it themselves and sell it to you that way, however you want to do it. Or make network friendships with farmers who sell eggs or sell the infamous Warclim. Warclim is that word, that phrase that's spelled backwards that I can't say on YouTube because if I do, I get in trouble. So do you understand that most of these foods are fake? And it comes down, there's a lot of people who buy probiotics at the store. And not just the pill bottles. I'm talking about the stuff where, the Warclim kefir, okay? The Warclim, again, the phrase spelled backwards, Warclim kefir or kombucha or all these different things, these yogurts, all with these great exclamations on their packagings telling you how healthy this stuff is. It's all a lie. It's a lie. Most of it is a lie. And so the only way you're going to be confident that you can have the sort of health and nutrition that you deserve and that you want and you desire is to grow it yourself. And that's one of the reasons why when I was approached to take this company over, I researched it and I'm like, yeah, this is a good opportunity. People really care. And this is one of the reasons why I have a picture of Jamie on the website holding one of these, because we've always put importance on good health and good diet, wholesome foods, whole food ingredients. We don't eat perfect. Not everything we eat is exactly the way maybe it should be or way it was 200 years ago. I'm guilty of, having a few cravings myself every once in a while. But for the most part, I try to eat healthy and stay in shape and do what I know is right. And the reality is you can go to the store and you can be having that mindset and you go home with a grocery cart full of lies. Just it's sad that that's the reality of the world we're living in today. So that's one of the reasons I'm pushing this product. Perfectpickler.com. You can go to the website, Check it out. There's all kinds of recipes on there. This comes with its own recipe booklet inside of it. Most of our kits, the value package as well. This is our best seller, by the way, the value package, because it allows you to do twice as much for not as much price. But they all come with it. This one comes with a DVD. This one comes with the booklet also. This one comes with just the booklet. But it allows you to make these. And then also on the website, we have additional recipes for you that you can dive into and just all kinds of different flavors. So try those out, share them with your friends, share the recipes, and tell people about this. We're already being sold in Layman's. Layman sells our product, and we have a number of other retailers who are selling our product right now, and we're getting into more retail markets with this. We're going to expand this company, expand this business, and I think because living in the days we're living in right now, guys, health is important. And you're just seeing, and I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic with RFK and some of the things that Trump wants to do with getting the FDA under control and the USDA under control and all this nonsense. But at the same time, I think we as they're trying to return honesty back to food practices and food production and whole food ingredients, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know. I'm waiting to see. I'm, again, cautiously optimistic. But until that time, I'm going to take up arms myself, promoting products that I believe in that I think are going to help you. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Let me know about the Hellmann's. Let me know. I'm really curious to see if your Hellmann's has the bioengineered label or not, and where you live. Because and if someone knows why they're doing that, if someone from Hellmann's might want to chime in. First off, don't promote an olive oil product when you're still putting soybeans in it. That's ridiculous. And canola oil in it. It's not real. You're lying to people. Oh, this one's made with olive oil. Until you turn it over and actually read what it says, people don't understand that it's actually got seed oils in it. It's a lie. Again, everything's out there is a lie. Make it yourself. PerfectPickler.com. Check them out online. I will see you guys next time at the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.